to this page every Saturday morning, barring, I don't believe we did one on Christmas Day when it was on Saturday. Nope, we didn't show up on Christmas Day. But otherwise, yes, we even showed up on New Year's Day. So let's do this is we're going to share our slide deck for just a moment here, a few slides. I want to give a very warm welcome to our new members. And we've had several new folks come in this last week. So if you're new, let us know, and you're going to receive a lot of love from your fellow community members. And no doubt there's going to be likely folks who are just checking us out, whether for the first time or have watched for many times. Welcome as well, those who are just visiting and checking us out. Very warm welcome to you. And then we'll go to our next slide, where we always talk about the 3 pillars of e-commerce success. And we believe this is a very strong filter you need to have in place anytime you're looking at any type of business model. So pillar number 1 is to generate cash flow, and that helps you jumpstart your business and keep it going so that you're not relying on your personal funds, your family household funds, but rather your business is funding itself so that you get, and that has to happen with quick cash flow, right? So pillar number 2 is to automate systems so that you can free up your time and scale up your business. And pillar number 3 is to build assets so you can pass on to your family or sell to investors for a profit. So those are our 3 pillars of e-commerce success. Next, we do love for people to share the good news of what we have here at the E-commerce Business School. And today is going to be some very solid business training for all our Amazon sellers with Coach Candida. So definitely give thought to sharing and spreading the good news of our Saturday morning live and EBS, E-commerce Business School. So it's a little bottom, an arrow at the bottom. You can just click that and share it with those 4 different options. And now announcing, and our next slide here is our weekly Feed the Beast Challenge. And we ask all our members, we do this as a means of, you could call it accountability within our group page, and also encouragement to others. When you post a screenshot of your FBA shipping or Amazon weekly sales every Friday in our community, our private community page, it's called the Cash Flow Systems Group, and that is strictly for those who are in one of our programs, okay? And with the hashtag Feed the Beast, and the beast are those beautiful prime buyers, those shoppers, right? So this week's winner, Candida or Brian, do you know how to say this first name?
Abdramain. I hope it's Abdramain.
Abdramain.
I don't know. Candida, have you worked with her?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't gotten to work with her, so I hope it's said right.
Okay, so Abdramain, congratulations. You were selected, and your results look really, really awesome. I'm going to gather you're a newer member. So 2,992 in about less than a month. And there you had 101 in one single day. So high five, congratulations to you. We celebrate every success, including members' very first sale, even if it's just that one product that's sold. So congratulations, give it up to Abdramain.
And she's here with us this morning, good. So everybody give her some love, okay?
Beautiful, awesome. Well, with that, we are going to give a big praise and shout out to EBS Certified Coach and Trainer, Candida Lillard. And you can see on the left, that is a shot with their family, a photo with their family that I do know one of the ways they love to celebrate is going on vacations, right, Candida? That's how you celebrate?
That's right. That's right. And this picture on the left is actually my daughter's birthday. And every year she picks going to a water park, and there we were celebrating as a family.
And so I know you have said it's the memories that you want. That's what you're trying to capture more than anything.
Absolutely.
As part of your family legacy. And there is Candida holding her certificate of achievement. Brian and I were both with her, and we're so proud for our members who then, coming up through our system, become certified to coach and train our members. And Candida, this is how far back now? How many years ago was that? Was that a couple of years at least, right?
So, Anne, this is February of, what are we in, 2022? I signed
Yes.
up at the e-commerce business school February of 2018. So I started 4 years ago. And then July of 2019 is when I became a certified trainer.
Wow. And you have been, as I saw you come into the program, you're just flat out a massive action taker. You take action, action, action. There's no pondering over it. It's just go time. And that's what I love about you. And you're also not afraid to try new things. And it's very, very impressive how much you've developed your business in a lot of different levels that is hard to compare to. And that's really laudable relative to you're willing to step out and keep expanding your business. So you really lead the path in a very, I'm going to call it brave way. You're very, strong person, individual, and it really shows in the accomplishments of your business.
Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes, Anne, the only way to know if something's going to work is to jump in and give it a try.
That's how I feel. I'm a big action taker, and my mom would often say, Anne, did you read the recipe? Oh, but I made the biscuits. I like getting it done. And if I make mistakes along the way, I'm okay with that. I love the doing of it. So anyways, with that, the next slide there is Candida is going to talk about really opening up the scope of products that you can have access to so you can increase the volume of sales in your business. And she has created 2 outstanding training programs. One is actually a mastermind. It's called Ungating and Brand Expansion. And the other, which all of these increase profits and sales, the 5-step seller profit maximizer formula is where you decrease your cost and thereby increase your profits. And then I love the little shed. Now, some people don't, I shouldn't call it little, it's actually a big one. So can you share, because that's so intriguing when you were first going through that and I saw your pictures on your Facebook page. Can you give a little snapshot of how you personally, you made this decision to have this, it's like a little mini house almost, on your property to work your business?
It is. So we call it the hustle hut because when I come inside, that's what I'm doing. I'm actually working out here. But we bought that because, one, when you start an Amazon business, if you're doing online arbitrage, you've got products coming in. And so I did my own prepping and shipping for a while. And so I was ordering products and they were piling up by the door. And so when you have company come over or whatnot, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with these boxes? And so now I have this building out here. It's right outside the house. So it's a little walk to work. But when I'm out here, I'm working and I can separate when I'm at work and when I'm at home being a mom or a wife or whatnot. The boxes can come out here. I have shelves in here. So if I do any merchant fulfilled, the boxes are here. If I get any of those pesky returns that we all deal with from time to time, they can come out here and I can deal with them. So it's just truly a little work area where when I'm out here, it's the Amazon world.
Beautiful. So you kind of created a line of division. When you're in your home, you're in your home. And here, when you're out in your hustle hut, you're hustling and building your business.
I think it's easy when we are working from the home to get distracted by the dishes or by the laundry or by whatever it is, those little distractions. And so while we're ordering products, then all of a sudden, oh, let me run, change the laundry. Oh, let me go load the dishwasher. And so I want to really be focused. When I'm out here, it's dedicated time and this is where my mind is at and this is what I'm working on.
Awesome. Well, also, I will hand it over to you two to start the conversation and our training about how to increase your product reach and scope so you can further scale your business. So over to you two.
Great. Well, thank you. So this came about because of our members who say, I'm new on Amazon and everything is restricted. I can't find anything to sell. And we hear that again and again. We understand the frustration. We want you to know that this may seem to be true, but there is so much opportunity. And then we can create even more opportunity through brand approvals and category approvals. And Candida's the master at that. So Candida, do you want to talk about a little bit about your history and how you got started with approvals, or what your experience was with products that were restricted to you and how you solved that?
So I remember when I started 4 short years ago, I was outsourcing just like everyone else. And it was like, oh man, I'm restricted. Oh man, I'm restricted. And in the beginning, it's truly just focus on what you can sell. Don't let all of the restrictions get you sidetracked. But I was kind of taking note of, man, I keep seeing this brand or I keep seeing this product. And if I could sell this, then I could really, increase my profits. And so Q4 rolled around that first year, and toys are a big thing in Q4. Of course, toys sell year round, but Q4 is really when you can.
And tell everybody what Q4 is.
Q4 is the last 3 months of the year, October, November, December. So it's the big buying season. It's the holiday season. And that's really when sales increase, those last 3 months of the year. And during that time, there were a lot of toys that I couldn't buy because I was restricted. And so I went ahead, I was able to, still play in Q4. I was still able to go out and buy products. But the next year, starting in January or February, I started making a list of brands and categories that I really wanted to get unrestricted in, because I knew if I could open up those categories and brands, then I could really take my business to the next level. And that's exactly what I did. I started making lists. When I was at the store and I was restricted, I would take a snapshot. I would do a screenshot on my phone, or if I was doing it online, I had a list. I would make a list on a spreadsheet. And then systematically, I started working at ungating each category and brand that I needed, trying to set myself up, not only for the rest of the remaining year, but knowing that going into Q4 of the following year, I was going to be ready for it.
So some of those brands are, we say, automatic approvals. If you just ask, Amazon gives that to you. And some you have to go through a process. What did you find right at first as you started doing this?
Well, always ask for approval. If you see that you are restricted on a product, you always press the button. But I really want to impress upon you guys, when you press that button, it takes you to another screen that tells you what the actual restriction is. It's going to tell you if it's the brand restriction or if it's the category restriction. And oftentimes what I see new sellers doing is they just don't even read it. They're just pushing buttons wanting to know if they can sell it. But you need to know what that restriction is. And so then I really started looking at that list, making notes, and I started opening up brands. And I said it, I had a list of brands that I wanted to open in categories, but I didn't do it all at once. I would take a few each month, Brian, and work on getting that brand and start, systematically adding those brands and categories into my business. Everyone has a different budget. And so I set my budget, and this is what I would spend on ungating each month. And then I just kind of worked my way through.
What's one of the first big brands that you landed?
Lego. I knew I wanted Lego. I knew I wanted Nerf. I knew I wanted some of those things. Nike was another one. I found a lot of Nike products when I was out and about, and I really wanted Nike because it wasn't, I didn't see Amazon on a lot of those listings. And so that was one that I really wanted. Melissa and Doug. I wanted Melissa and Doug because I found Melissa and Doug, I swear, at all of the stores I was outsourcing at, and they were always listed on Amazon. And so I thought to myself, man, if I can get Melissa and Doug, I know where to source them. This is going to be great. And so I went through the steps, and I ungated in Melissa and Doug. And I laughed because I swear I think Amazon is on every Melissa and Doug listing that's out there. And so truly looking back at it now, it probably wasn't money well spent, because I didn't do enough research in the beginning to really look at those listings. I just knew I was seeing a lot of Melissa and Doug, and man, I'm restricted. But I didn't spend enough time looking to see Amazon's on almost all of those listings. And just, I think last week, maybe earlier this week, I sold my first Melissa and Doug product, I think. And I giggled because when I seen it sell, I laughed and I thought, finally, that ungating process I went through finally paid off, a few years later. And so it all comes down to research. I think we get excited and we want to get all the brands and we're going to do all of the things on Amazon. But you kind of have to take a step back and really look at the data. Did I need Melissa and Doug? Probably not, because Amazon was on it. Did I want Nike? I did. And so I went after Nike. I will tell you guys, I spent $500 on the products to get the invoice to help me get ungated with Nike. I made my money back in the first month. And I have been able to sell Nike over and over and over. And I actually have a replenishable. It's seasonal, but it's something that I bank on each year. And so I've kind of tracked, okay, this is what I spent, to get ungated in this brand. Am I able to make it back, and how quickly? Because I want my budget to go to good use. So I don't want to frivolously get all of the brands. And that's something I actually talk about in the Ungating Mastermind, is really kind of look at what you can source, what products can you find, and will it ultimately make you some money?
So there's an investment here. You mentioned $500 for Nike. So you're looking at, what do I have to do to get the brand? And then how quickly can I recoup that money? Is $500 typical?
It's not. It's not. It was just a source that I had found at the time that worked. And so I was able to do that. But when we're getting ungated, Brian, Amazon has some certain requirements in place. We have to purchase from a distributor that can provide an invoice. So we actually have to have a piece of paper that has the word invoice on it. And we have to buy a minimum of 10 units. And so you have to factor that into play on, okay, I'm going to buy 10 units of this. What does that cost? And ultimately, how quickly can I make that money back? And is it going to be worth it? If not, then we wait a little bit, because as we begin to grow our trust with Amazon, you guys hear me talk about growing trust with Amazon. And as we maintain our seller metrics, we're going to be good sellers. We're going to follow the rules. And we start getting feedback. Amazon rewards our good behavior with auto approvals. So sometimes we don't, necessarily need to get all of the brands. We can get the brands that we know will help us further our business right now. And as we continue to grow our metrics, then we can go ahead and either get the invoice, or we can try to get auto approval. But if we need the items now, then we have a way to do that as well.
So you got a couple of success stories in addition to Nike?
I do. I actually got a new VA on the team recently, and it was, ma'am, what restrictions do you have in place? I don't have a lot of restrictions in place. And so the VA, it was like, oh my gosh, because they're able to source in the grocery, they're able to source in the topicals, they're able to source, some of the brand names as well. And so it's made finding leads that meet my criteria a little bit easier. But
so by VA, you're talking about a virtual assistant, somebody that works overseas that can help you find products. And this sounded like a very experienced VA, somebody that had done this for others, because she knew, this is a woman?
Yes.
Is that correct? She knew that a lot of sellers experience restrictions. And
Yes.
so this has really helped.
This has really helped her. And she was, kind of surprised at all of the things that I could sell. And then there were some hazmat items. Hazmat is a restricted item. And I actually said, hey, these are some items I want you to source. And she was like, wow, you can source these. And I said, yes. And so some of those are on my replan list. And so it was like, hey, I want you to kind of keep an eye on this, and this is what we need. And so being able to sell in categories that not everyone else is, I'm able to not have as much competition on those items that I sell.
How long does it normally take for this process to happen if people just start selling and organically Amazon starts giving them some approval, starts opening up some brands?
There's rumor.
Yeah.
Of course, Amazon doesn't tell us what the actual metrics are, but we hear around the 6-month mark that you can get more categories and brands approved. I know for me specifically, when I hit $100,000 in sales, Amazon opened up the gates for me. And I know that because I had a little tracker and I was tracking my sales. And so that day I was actually looking at buying Under Armour with a distributor so I could get ungated. And I hit $100,000 that day, and we went out to dinner. We went out to celebrate. My daughter's seen that last little mark on the thermometer get filled in, and she's like, "You won!" And I was like, "I did." And she didn't really know what I won, but we went out, we celebrated, and when we got home, I started asking for approvals because I wanted to see, is this a metric? I don't know. Let me put it to the test. And I ended up getting 313 auto approvals that day, including Under Armour. And so I was like, okay, there is something to the dollar amounts that you hit that it will ungate certain things. I got Rubbermaid that day. And I only remember Rubbermaid because, you guys, when I was out scanning, I think Rubbermaid must have been the first product I ever scanned in a store. And I was restricted. And so I remembered that. And I wanted Rubbermaid because I'd been told no. So when I finally got approval for Rubbermaid, it was a big deal. And I still don't think I've sold any Rubbermaid products, but it was a big deal to me because I'd been told no before. And so, but it took $100,000 in sales to get 313 auto approvals that day.
Now, those are a lot of brands and some good brand names there. But then there's other brands like Lego, because I'm not approved for Lego. I can't get auto approval for it. I've been selling for 13 years on Amazon. Now, and there's many other brands that I would still have to go through the same ungating process that you teach in the Ungating and Brand Expansion Mastermind.
Star Wars is another one. You know, Star Wars required an invoice. Nike requires an invoice. And so there's just different brands out there that you do have to go through the steps and provide Amazon the invoice. They want to know that you're doing the right things. And so they do require the invoice. And the invoice needs to be within the last 6 months. They have requirements. It needs to be within the last 180 days. You need to purchase a minimum of 10 units. And so Amazon may even call up the vendor that you ordered it from and verify that you ordered it. And so Amazon just has some things in place to make sure that, you know, we're doing good things as sellers.
I was just going to jump in and share what Candida is sharing. I get to see come through, and you have a separate group devoted to the ungating people. And there are big numbers that happen with our members. I'm not saying all of them where, you know, you'll see it's 120, but how exciting it is to have those brands opened up. And then also just reflecting on for your VA, she's like, this is wide open territory because you made the effort, a lot of, you know, sweat equity, I'm going to call it, that going down in the trenches and figuring it out. I love that when you're told no, you're like, oh, well, I don't really like that status. So we're going to go ahead and change that status. So you don't just take it at face value. You go in and you dig deeper, you do the research, you make that effort to change that no to a yes. And therefore now the benefit is your VA is so far much more productive if you hadn't done all that ungating. I'm just curious, do you have an estimate of, I'm guessing this would just be top of your head, how much more you have increased the volume of your business as a result of all your ungating efforts?
I don't know that answer, Anne, because really the sky is the limit. It's more about, you know, how much can I spend each month? And, you know, okay. And that's really it, because I have a team of 4 VAs right now on staff. And so on any given day, the one that's really doing the OA sourcing, she can provide 10 to 12 leads a day. And so, you know, we're ordering quite a bit. And I'm able to do that because I've spent the time and really worked on growing my business and selling all of the things.
It to me sounds like this is foundational. Like, you know, really making that effort has, or at least it's set a stronger foundation. Right? When you say, Brian, I mean, that cement floor is a bit thicker than maybe your average Amazon seller that hasn't gone as far. Yours is pretty thick. You know, you think of the big buildings, they have a deeper foundation going into the earth, and that's what you've got, therefore allowing you to build faster and farther as a result of really deepening your foundation.
You know, it's kind of like a snowball in that you get it started and you get a few approvals for other brands and you sell more products, and Amazon rewards you with more approvals, more capability, you open up a category or two, and then you get even more capability, you sell more products. It's like a snowball that just grows.
Miss Lisa has posted some comments that I think have rolled in from, I have to share them.
Please.
Because you may not see it, Candida. Kathy Sager-Carter says, Ungating and brand expansion class was one of my best investments for my business. Well worth the money I spent. I would even love a refresher course, says Kathy. Thank you, Kathy, who is here watching right now. And Brandy, hello to Brandy, right, Candida? All righty, here's what Brandy has to say. Morning, friends. If you haven't taken this class or had a chance to get to know Candida, you 100% should. She changed my life. Her coaching in this class scaled my business by double each month. She's a game changer. She's in the business doing it with us. This is your opportunity. Go, go, go. Now, Brandy is a realtor, and to get those kind of praises, Candida, whew, that's huge. Thank you, Brandy. Wow.
You know, there's a number of Candida fans here this morning, and I think they're here just because Candida's on SML here.
I think so too. Well, I don't know however many tips, but what I'm reflecting on here is it's clear you're a gal who does not flinch at putting in sweat equity. That's what we call it, you know. And I'm just going to say I've been in real estate and on that, not as a realtor, but an investor. And sweat equity, oh yeah. Anyways, so, you know, you've done the hard work, and really this is a business of smarts. Fair to say, Brian? It's a business of smarts. And so some folks just kind of have more of the smarts. I'm going to pull it. It's a fact of life. Let's just acknowledge that. And you go, well, I'm so glad you got the smarts, because I don't know that I would have been as keen, as investigatory and research minded. And heck, she did all that hard researching and thinking for me. Yeah, I'll leverage off of that. That's what I look for as a business owner. And my husband and I have 3 decades at least, 20 years, almost 20 years in online, is I'm always looking to leverage somebody else's hard-earned expertise. Heck yeah. It's almost my number one. I'm serious. That's how you get ahead and make a bigger jump faster than laboring in the fields, pulling the turnips out with the hot sun beating down. No thanks. Someone else is coming over in the next field with the John Deere, and I'm looking at my field and the sweat I'm putting into that field going, let me get one of those John Deeres. That's the comparison, honestly. But it's really just leveraging somebody else's business smarts. Brian has mega business smarts. He's a strategist. It's just the way his brain has been wired. Heck, thank you, Brian. You know, it's just how his brain is wired. You know what I'm saying, folks? Some people just have that a little more advanced. So I think we can go ahead and share, unless there's other comments that have since rolled in. I really thank Lisa for seeing that and posting it for me. But if there's anything else you wanted to add, Candida, and then we're going to share with people how they can access this awesomeness that you've achieved and that you've helped others achieve. Brandy said you changed your life. Those kind of compliments don't come along too long, or too often, I should say. So that's a big one. But anything else you want to add in about the ungating?
Well, with the Ungating Mastermind, I mean, Brandy's right. I'm right there with you guys. I've been there and I've done it, but I'm right there with you each week, helping you along the way. I'm there checking in on you each week. I'm, helping and I'm there for any of the snags. And, Anne mentioned earlier, we have a private Facebook group where we can talk about it. And other members, you guys, they're here, they're on the call. I'm seeing the comments come in, and thank you guys for all of the kindness. But they are proof that it works and it's helped them grow their business. And so I hope that, if you're there and you're getting frustrated and you're going, oh my gosh, then yes, maybe it's time to jump in and join the next mastermind and continue to grow. It is important, though, that you understand how the Amazon business works. And I really, truly think it's important if you've at least sent in one shipment, because you do need to have something in the warehouse in order for some of the things to work. Amazon wants to know you're serious. They want to know that you're here and you're going to show up and you're going to do the work.
So I'm showing on the slide deck here some bullet points from the Ungating and Brand Expansion Mastermind, which starts, I don't have the start date on here, March 3rd, I believe.
3rd.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's a Thursday, and at 1:30 CT, I believe. It's limited to just 12 people. The last time you offered this was 6, 7, 8 months ago, so it's been a while. I expect this will probably fill up pretty quickly. Just 12 people that can attend a mastermind at any one time.
I don't doubt it's going to be filled today, quite frankly. And really, it's all the people who are here. They love and adore you, Candida, and they're saying, this is a must. You're being called the John Deere of e-commerce. There's a new term. Well, really, you're going to stay in the turnip fields or pull out that old John Deere, right? You might even have a John Deere in that shed of yours. Actually, I think it's you. You are the John Deere. And you are in your hustle hut right now, aren't you?
I am. I came out here for this call. It's nice and quiet out here. And
no interruptions.
I get to turn the heat up however high.
Oh, I can appreciate that one. I turn it up. My husband turns it down. Up and down it goes. So, all right. So did you share both those slides, or let's see, where are we at with that?
I didn't know. Did you want to read the bullets off, Anne?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm on slide 10. Is that what you have open right now?
Yes.
Okay. So discover the secrets of brand ungating. You've been hearing some of those secrets already. Expand your Amazon business with popular in-demand brands and products unavailable to other sellers. Learn the exact documents that Amazon wants you to send to speed you through the approval process. In other words, not a trial and error thing, but the proven blueprint. The proven blueprint. Be aware of the trouble brands you should absolutely avoid selling on Amazon. Learn which brand distributors are recognized by Amazon for easy brand ungating. Discover which brands to use to unlock product categories. You all want to unlock lots of product categories, right? Discover hidden online lists with direct phone lines to thousands of name brand product manufacturers and distributor. Now that's a little bit of an ooh la la, if I can just kind of pronounce that one a little bit, Brian and Candida, is like this is kind of a little more than ungating. It's kind of swinging wide. We're starting to now look at actual product manufacturers and distributors. That's a really big deal. That really what your brain can start to be thinking is a little more level of scale in your business. Would that be fair to say, Candida and Brian, that you get more scale as a result?
Yes, because in order to get ungated, we talked about that invoice, but what we didn't talk about was that invoice needs to come from a manufacturer or a distributor. So you're not able to go to Walmart and buy 10 items and send in a receipt. So we are going to work on contacting manufacturers and distributors and actually opening up an account to get the invoice. And that's an important piece, is it has to be an invoice.
Perfect. There is a question that has rolled in. I think we need to address that, coming in from Tiffany Lamb. She says, would this mastermind be beneficial for someone who is still new? And in the 90-day peak performance, my Amazon seller account was just verified on Thursday. And I think the answer would be no, in that, just want to resonate with what you said earlier, Candida, you need to have at least one shipment in. And, we need to see that you've gone through that initial process of your business. That's like foundational before you get moving forward. And just know if that's your situation, that's okay. The Ungating Mastermind will be offered again in the future. And by the way, it's not like a course where you sign up and it sits there. This is a mastermind. You are in the call live with Candida and this very small group of members. So it's very interactive. So it's quite a specialty experience. Again, not to say that just training isn't awesome, because the training is the foundation, but it's the experiential aspect of being in a mastermind of like-minded people going through the same process. So you definitely need to get those foundational pieces in place first, Tiffany. But thank you for asking, because there's likely other members who are in that same boat. So it's all good, right, Candida? It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. And really work right now on learning the fundamentals and learning how to source. Because then when you take the next Ungating Mastermind, you're going to be ready for it, and you're going to really be able to scale the business.
Totally agree. All right, so let's talk about what you get with that. In slide 11, there is ungating and brand expansion. It's a lot. Bonus number 1, you're also going to get wholesale sourcing from home, a 297 value. So for those of you, I think everybody has heard of the term wholesale in some capacity in your life experience, right? Wholesale, meaning you're that intermediary. That person is that intermediary between the manufacturer and then the retailer. So you're going to learn how to do this from home. And wholesale, what the term that comes to mind is scale. So 4 strategies to find new suppliers online, easy access to thousands of wholesale suppliers, how to reach the right supplier rep without any introduction. And then bonus number 2 is Kurt's online, Coach Kurt, who runs the 10-day accountability bootcamp. Hands up or a like if you remember who Kurt is. Online arbitrage bundle strategy, that is his expertise, because he is a keyword master. And when it comes to doing your own listing, it's a lot has to do with the keywords. So how to eliminate the competition and dominate the buy box, creating convenience for buyers while increasing profits. And convenience meaning things are bundled together like kind products that kind of give the essence of a gift, right? And then keywords made easy for more sales. That's from Coach Kurt. And bonus number 3 is gaining a competitive edge with wholesale sourcing, a 297 value. A little known research tool inside of Amazon.com to provide an inexhaustible list of wholesalers. How merchant marts give a secret door to a wealth of new wholesalers, and proven methods for a 70% close rate to gain new wholesale accounts. So that's everything that you get there. The link has been posted at least once in there, but I think this thread is pretty fast moving today. So if you don't see that link, give a shout out. Lisa can probably post that link for you, and go ahead and secure your seat. There are 12 slots, and it's conceivable they'll be gone at the end of this call. And I do like that, Tiffany, that you asked that question. So if anybody else has questions, please post it, because we're here and we just as soon address it right now. Do you see any other questions, Brian, that have come in?
I think there was a question earlier. Lots of more comments. Vinya saying Candida is a rock star. Her ungating class was bar none. It was a game changer in the beginning of our business journey, but we continue to use it to this day, almost 2 years later. And it's so much fun.
Awesome. Okay. So do post a question if you have anything specific, wondering if this is suited for you, for where you're at in your business, just let us know. And also, I want to make sure, can you folks give a love to Candida for coming on today and sharing this information? You guys saw from the picture, she's got 2 children she's raising. How old is Ainsley now, Candida?
She's 7, Brax is 14, Ainsley's 7. So.
Oh my goodness. 4 years we've been, you came into the program, and right out of the gate, you're burning rubber, and you definitely caught our eye and attention, that's for sure. So give her some love for showing up here and sharing this information, regardless of, whether you're moving forward with Ungating or not. Okay, Teresa has a question. It will be on a Thursday, and
1:30.
1:30. Okay, 1:30 p.m. Central. Thank you, William. Giving love there. And Robert, yeah, okay. So it is at 1:30 p.m. Central. So you guys, let's do that little. That'd be 2:30 p.m. EST, 1:30 K. Central would be 12:30 and 11:30 a.m. for PST. Well, I think I messed up. Where is Mountain there? Mountain is 12:30 and Pacific is
11:30. 11:30. Yes.
4 time zones, but yeah, I think I'd love there. So 1:30 there p.m. CST. Okay, there's a question from Jorge.
Jorge is asking, if the distributor is not taking any applications to get ungated, is there a way to get around that to get ungated, or do we just have to wait and see?
That's one we would definitely check back with, because when they're not taking applications, there's nowhere for us to apply and upload our invoice. So we have to wait until Amazon opens that back up for us.
Okay, lots more questions coming in. Niam asking, how long is the class?
It's a 6-week. We're going to meet for 6 weeks, and we meet for about an hour each Thursday, and it goes for 6 weeks.
Awesome. And let's see. I thought I saw another one, but it might have already jumped in the feed there. Oh, okay. Someone asking about perhaps one in the evening. That is a challenge on our end because our trainers train on so many evenings already, but we appreciate that feedback.
And the calls are recorded. So if you're unable to attend the calls live, the recordings do go in your back office. And then we do have a private Facebook group where you could ask any questions, because there is an NDA that is signed in order to come into this. And so we have a private Facebook group. That way, any questions that you ask, the other members that are in there, they know which vendors we're talking about, because I do share specific vendors during the mastermind on who we will use to get ungated.
True Fed is asking, I was planning to take wholesale sourcing, so would that not be enough if I take this course because it is included?
So Candida, we do have, just to answer that, we do have a wholesale sourcing course, and it's great. And if you are ready to move full speed into wholesale, which means finding these distributors and making fairly large orders with them, that's great. But there is a process that you have to go through to find these wholesale distributors and get approval for wholesale distributors. And that's what's done here in the Ungating and Brand Expansion Mastermind. And also, we're not talking about large orders, talking a minimum of 10 units. And sometimes that's all it takes to get approval. And then if you can find those products through your arbitrage sourcing methods rather than directly from the wholesaler, you're often getting a much bigger discount through some of the, like liquidation sales as such. So Candida, do you want to talk about a little bit about the difference and possibly how the Ungating and brand expansion could be a start to your wholesale career?
It can be a start because I do share different vendors and wholesalers, distributors that are actual wholesalers. And so they may have a variety of products that you could order. But for the most part, when we're working on the mastermind, we are working on truly just getting ungated. And so we are looking for products that we have seen outsourcing, whether doing local retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. And so it is kind of the start of wholesale, but we don't really go down the whole wholesale rabbit trail. We just kind of do the start. We are working with vendors, so you're getting familiar with kind of how to open up an account, the documents that are needed to open up a wholesale account. And we're trying to kind of keep it short, simple, and sweet, because we're really focused on getting ungated. We want those 10 items, we want our invoice, and we want to go through the process with Amazon.
So this is intended for arbitrage sourcing. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, and I want to mention, someone wondered if this call is being recorded. And yes, all of our Saturday morning lives that we do, they're hosted on Facebook, are recorded and archived on this very page. So you can come back and listen again. Okay, Trufat says, thank you. Awesome. All right, well, Brian, let's go on to our announcements. And by the way, if you have since joined while watching this live, let us know in the comments and we'll high five and congratulate you. And if you are looking for the link, just let us know and we'll post it directly to you, right in a comment or reply back to you. So if you're having trouble finding the link, just let us know and we'll post it again. All right, so let's go to our announcements. So for those of you who are in peak, now it's called 90-Day Peak Performance Mentoring. You definitely know who you are if you are one of our peak members. We have a special student success webinar that is every month on the third Friday of every month at 12 p.m. CT. And you'll be emailed about that and get a SMS, a text message as well, so that you can register in advance for that. So look for that. And we will be meeting this Friday, February 18th at 12 p.m. Central Time. And everyone who shares a success story gets a gift. All right, on to the next slide. So if you're brand new here, which we know that a lot of people are viewing this and not inside our actual training and mentorship program, to get more information, go to joinebs.com. And you'll also see that there's a chat function there where you can send questions in if you have any, and we can reply back there. As someone here was asking about wholesale sourcing, Brian mentioned we have a program for that. So any kind of other questions, just go to our homepage, click the chat function, it's in the lower right, and we'll be getting back with you that way. So you go to joinebs.com, and then our next slide, well, there it is. Candida is in the Hustle Hut, and hustle and heart is what sets us apart. And I think fair to say that Candida definitely has a hustle and heart business. I can see it with the way she helps take care of our members. Can you guys, would you all give me a like for Candida's responses in our private mastermind community? Because I just saw some yesterday and I'm like, yep, there she is again. She's helping the members. Can you guys give some likes and loves just for that? I mean, really, that's astounding. And truly, Candida, you know, you're so present and helpful. And so if you've experienced Candida love on our group private mastermind page, just wait till you're in Ungating. So give her some love right now for that. All right, so next slide is, again, go to our homepage to access our free training that we have. You'll see a blue button at the top for that, and our student success stories. And again, to get there, you go to joinebs.com. And so that is this edition of Saturday Morning Live. Thank you so much, Candida, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. And thank you guys. I saw all of the love come through. I love all of you, and I'm very excited and grateful to be a part of the journey with you.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian, for hosting and directing all the controls behind the scenes.
Always my pleasure.
All right. We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.